Hello friends, I'm James and I'm back with another Nostalgia Talk bonus retrospective. As many of you probably know, we just lost the one and only Harry Belafonte. Harry was largely known as a singer with hits such as Deo, Jamaica Farewell, Turn the World Around, and Shake Senora, but he was also an activist. And in the 1970s, Harry Belafonte made a guest appearance on The Muppet Show, which at the time was one of the most popular television shows worldwide. In the book of Muppets and Men, Harry said that it was rare that he ever did television appearances, but he loved Jim Henson's work, and when Jim invited him to do the show, Harry accepted. Jim himself remembers how enthusiastic Harry was about doing the show, and even worked with the show's writers and producers very closely during its development. Most of us Muppet fans know of Harry for his appearance on the show and remember it as one of the most iconic episodes of The Muppet Show. A few years ago, I did a retrospective on The Muppet Show after its launching on Disney+, alongside of biographer Brian J. Jones. And while this episode was brought up with Brian, I never really talked about it in full, so as a tribute to the irreplaceable Harry Belafonte, I'm going to be looking back on his iconic appearance on The Muppet Show. So we all know how every episode of The Muppet Show begins. Scooter comes into the dressing room and says, "Harry Belafonte, 15 seconds to curtain!" And Harry tells Scooter that he overheard someone outside of the dressing room talking crap, saying, "No, don't go in there, Crazy Harry's in there." But actually, they were talking about a Muppet, not Harry Belafonte. And that's when Scooter remembers that Crazy Harry is the Muppet who has an affinity for blowing things up, and also going, Kermit the Frog comes on stage to introduce the Muppet Show, but Fozzie Bear is the one who scripted the introduction. Kermit reads the introduction on stage, and it says, "Laggies and Jeckelfins, welcome again to the Muppelshocks. My name is Kermit the Forg, and our spagular guest stap is the amazing Harry Belafonte." So basically, yeah, he can't read it, and Fozzie says, "Okay, so my typing is bad." And realizing how many spelling mistakes were in Fozzie's script, Kermit introduces Harry Belafonte. Harry starts the show off by performing his big hit, Deo, also known as the Banana Boat song. Fozzie Bear comes on stage when he finishes the first verse and compliments Harry on how beautifully he sang it. "I bet you must have sang that song a bunch of times on TV." Harry says that this is the first time he ever has. So Fozzie decides to help by bringing in a few Muppet pigs to sing backup and by offering to be the Tally Bear, because we know the line in the song, "Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana." And Fozzie asks, "What's a tallyman?" Harry Belafonte says, "He's the boss." And Fozzie says, "I'll be the tallyman, or the tally bear." And Harry says, "Do we have the bananas?" So Fozzie asks Beauregard to bring the bananas, but throughout the song, Beauregard brings onions, pineapples, and eggplants. Fozzie's like, "I don't even know what these are!" There's a running gag throughout this performance of the song where Fozzie offers to help by saying that it'll turn out great, and Harry asks, "Are you sure?" And Fozzie says, "Trust me." And eventually Harry hits Fozzie with the Uno reverse card, doing it to him. At the end of the song, Sweetums is the one who brings out the bananas. Backstage, Fozzie continues writing for the show, scripting a piece for a musical number featuring Rolf and New Zealand. Rolf reads the script out loud, and it simply says, "Curtains open, Rolf and New Zealand do something funny, curtains close." So their something funny is doing the song T for Two backwards. Sounded like, "Oot, rough eat, and eat, rough oot, ooya, rough eam, and eam, rough ooya," like that. Not entirely related to the plot of the episode or why it is so significant, but I would like to mention that this episode has my favorite Pigs in Space segment on The Muppet Show. We all remember that. Pigs in Space! As we last left our heroes on the swine trek... sorry, I got kind of carried away there. But the skit starts with Miss Piggy noticing Dr. Julius Strangepork working on some kind of device, and Miss Piggy says, "What's old stupid doing?" Link Hogthrob at first believes that she's referring to him, responding with, "I'm not doing a thing." But Miss Piggy actually says that she's referring to Strangepork. Strangepork is working on his invention, the Dissolvatron, which can move objects from one place to another. Strangepork tests it by moving Miss Piggy's soda closer to him and drinking it. Link loves this and asks him to do it again, dissolving Link and Miss Piggy. But when he brings them back, their voices have switched. And it gets worse from there. Strangepork and Janice have switched voices, and Kermit and the Swedish Chef have switched voices. And what's really funny about that is that Kermit and the Swedish Chef are both performed by Jim Henson. Harry Belafonte returns to the stage for a drum battle with Animal. Animal successfully copies all of the drum beats that Harry performs, but when Harry performs a very long drum beat, Animal ends up doing his own thing. Meanwhile, backstage, Fozzie is still working on his script, but he gets stuck. Rolf at first believes that he means his tie is stuck in the typewriter, but actually Fozzie is running out of ideas. When Rolf yanks the paper out of the typewriter, he pulls Fozzie's tie through it, so he's even more stuck. Feeling hopeless, Fozzie turns to Harry Belafonte for writing advice. Harry tells Fozzie that to write anything, you have to get inspired. The rest of the Muppets join in to listen to what Harry has to say, as he tells Fozzie a little story about a storyteller who told tales of African mythology and how the interconnection of fire, water, mountain, and spirit can turn the world around. This leads to the closing number, Harry's song Turn the World Around, performed by him alongside of a group of African Muppet masks. I once heard Harry Belafonte say that when the designers were making these puppet masks, Jim Henson apparently didn't want to offend viewers by using them for like some kind of a religious significance. For the closing number, all of the Muppets come on stage and sing the song alongside of Harry and the masks. Even Statler and Waldorf in their box can't resist singing along. One of the few acts on The Muppet Show that they actually enjoyed. Gonzo comes on stage to perform the Muppet Show theme song on trumpet, with the song continuing as the episode finishes. This closing number has been a favorite of Muppet fans for a number of years and has often been known as one of the most significant moments on The Muppet Show because it addressed a more serious topic. In 1990, after Jim Henson died, Harry Belafonte performed Turn the World Around at Jim's memorial service. I strongly feel as if everything in this episode kind of connects together. The major plot of Fozzie wanting to write for the show and assist Harry Belafonte in his opening performance by organizing everything but failing, and then Fozzie writes for the other Muppets in acts that don't perform well before going to Harry for advice, who gives it to Fozzie in the form of a very powerful song. I mostly know of Harry Belafonte for his appearance on The Muppet Show and do strongly believe this to be one of the most iconic episodes of The Muppet Show because of its plot and message connected to it. I feel as if the comedy of it and the seriousness of the closing number all go together. Harry Belafonte was truly one of the most inspirational people in the world, and I know that his legacy has turned the world around. So that's all I've got to say, and I hope you enjoyed.